another episode of Idtv.
We've got a great show lined up for you today.
First, we'll visit the Folsom Street Foundry, a gymnasium-sized bar in San Francisco where you can play old and new school video games in a social setting.
Next, we have a special interview with the art director of the Burning Man on the Playa, the wonderful Betty June. We will also have a behind-the-scenes look of the Cinema Club here at CCSF.
Then we'll take you back to the glorious CCSF boxing club of the 1940s.
Last up, stick around for a special performance by the Steve Nelson, a magnificent local band, a jazz band at that. Stay tuned.
Yes, high score and a new record. There are so many winners flocking to the Folsom Street Foundry, the hub for classic video games, tabletop games, and a cool bar menu. Check out the city's hotspot for gamers battling for bragging rights.
Nintendo! Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
The idea of Showdown and really basically coming together at a social gathering, so I came up with it about more than 10 years ago. It's tall ceilings, huge walls. It's very unique to San Francisco. We've done almost every configuration in the past year, whether it be console, handhelds, bringing their PCs, their laptops, setting them on a table. We've spent a while really trying to optimize the experience for them. As soon as you walk in, everything's free for you to play. You have the ability to challenge a person next to you or your best friend, it doesn't matter. People are very friendly around here, so generally speaking, we try to work towards 2- and 4-player games. We encourage people to come together, to meet new friends and have fun collectively. And they are walking in here with the knowledge that they're gonna have to open up to everybody and make friends quick. So the demographic of our clientele is mostly male. We lean to think that it's about 3 out of 10 that are actually women. That has grown over time. So what started off as maybe 1 out of 20 is now about 3 out of 10. And it's steadily climbing.
I just love playing games. I don't know, that's really as simple as it gets. I had an uncle who introduced me to a lot of games, Final Fantasy VII, the original NES. Things like that. I often come out to these events because it's very inviting, it's very welcoming, and it's really nice to be able to get into a game where you can play with other people. For the most part, I made a lot of friends here at the Foundries.
Welcome, Punch!
It's like a sport in a way, right? Like I used to play basketball and soccer, and to me this is just more of an intellectual sport. No, there's a lot of thinking going on. There's a lot of mind games in the game itself. You have to, once you're able to control your character fully, then you have to battle your opponent, what they're thinking, what they're doing, the decisions they're making, and you have to find ways to optimally punish everything that you can do and not what they're doing. I don't even think of it as a fighting game necessarily, but it is relatable to chess and poker. It's like chess and poker, except you also have to control a very fast character. So there's just a whole nother element to it. Which makes the game much more complicated.
These are people that are tech-oriented people that grew up with games, so naturally a lot of them went into the tech field. These people are smart.
Mario!
These things were great when they were created, and they remain great. I mean, you will see people doing that with the electrical stuff as well. You'll see them playing old games, and we'll play those forever. We'll play these games forever, and the games that are brand new today, we'll play those forever as well.
It's community 2.0, it's when, earlier generations were growing up, they went to the bowling community center and the bowling alley and stuff like that, and this is that in the sense that it's a lot of fun and it's bringing all these people together in a really personal and fun way, in a way that I think has kind of been missing over the last 10, 20 years. Because
it's not about a generation getting rid of the old generation. It's about everything improving and building upon what we have over time. So we just get more fun things to do over time. We never lose the old one. This is a game, this is actually an interesting game. This game turns the usual RPG motifs on its head. Instead of playing a hero and you're trying to defeat the evil monsters, you're playing the evil monsters and you're trying to stop the heroes. And after playing the same type of story over and over again, it's interesting to take it from a different angle. And we continue to mix and match these same metaphors over and over again. We'll create new video games that look like old video games. We'll take old video games and raise them up to new level with new technology. I mean, just a few years ago, they started mixing physical cards with video games. We'll do that till the end of time.
Next up, we have Burning Man's longtime associate art director, Betty June. She's one of the curators for all the artists and artwork at Burning Man. This desert festival is notorious for its groundswell of creativity, and we're about to find out how the amazing art happens in the middle of the desert.
Hi, I'm Jim Tierney, one of the behind-the-scenes folks here at Idtv, but I am also Anarchist Jim at Burning Man, and I have been volunteering there for about 11 years. And I have Betty June, one of the people I volunteer for. And she is the Associate Director of Art Management. So what does that mean for Burning Man? What is art management?
So I'm in charge of all the art on the playa. So that means everything from helping the artists with their plans to get it out there, to operate it safely, as well as how they're actually displayed. So we can kind of chart the path, the experience for the people who are actually going to see it, as well as the artists being able to realize their dream for how it's set up.
And so kind of an art curation sort of?
Definitely. It's kind of the story. I get to tell the story.
Excellent. And just for people that might not be aware, I know that's hard to believe in the Bay Area, but what is Burning Man?
So Burning Man is an event that started about 30 years ago, roughly on Baker Beach, which is a small group of people who got together to burn a small effigy of a man. It's now grown into a major arts event that happens in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada. And last year we had over 70,000 people.
That's pretty amazing. And so it's basically a full city
at this point. I think last I heard it's something like we're the 5th or 6th largest city in the state of Nevada during the event.
And I mean, and you have all the aspects of a city, but the big thing is public art.
Yes.
And what does that mean for Burning Man? What is public art, or what is art at Burning Man?
So Burning Man, we kind of see art differently than a lot of different art spaces, a lot of galleries or museums. So we really feel like the art of Burning Man is art that is to be experienced. To really be finalized, it's actually interacted with or touched or crawled all over by the people who actually get to view it. So for us, it's about interactivity. It's about a sense of ownership from your experience of the art.
So being able to press a button and have like massive amounts of fire streaming out.
Exactly. We love our fire, so it's fun to push buttons.
Fire is a good thing. And are there any particular pieces that you think have really stood out over the years?
There's so many pieces. To give you an idea of scope, last year we had over 300 art pieces on the open playa. Yeah. So there's a lot every year that just can bedazzle you. Right. Some of the ones that come to mind for me are some work by the Flaming Lotus Girls, which is an art collective here in the Bay Area. One of my favorite pieces they did is the Serpent Mother. The Serpent Mother is this huge steel serpent where you can see her ribs and her bones, and she's coiled around her egg trying to protect it. She's also famous for her buttons. Talking about fire, you can push the buttons and propane will shoot out the top in huge glorious flames. Her mouth articulates as she moves around and she protectively guards her egg, which throbs and opens and closes. The art there is amazing because it's immense. It's something you couldn't experience before, and you're able to get right up next to it and actually be a part of it.
Yeah, just fully interactive.
Fully interactive.
Now, some other pieces that really stood out is Peter Hudson's pieces.
Peter Hudson is also a favorite of mine as well. Peter is also a Bay Area artist, and he really focuses his work on zoetropes. Yeah. He first started by a piece called The Swimmers, where he just had body casts of people looking like they're swimming in different poses, and you could spin them, and when they get just right, it's like an old-fashioned movie where it starts to become seamless. His last piece he had with us on Playa was Charon, which was, or one of his last pieces, where he molded skeletons in different positions, looking like they're rowing that boat to the afterlife, whatever afterlife you've earned. When it gets to the right speed, with people pulling pulleys, it actually becomes that seamless motion all of a sudden, the perfect light. Feel like you're being drawn into the art itself.
Yeah, that's amazing. So it's just basically a big Ferris wheel sort of looking
It
piece
is.
with a bunch of skeletons going
It's
all
all
the way
a bunch
around.
It is.
Yeah, so there's some pretty amazing pieces out there. It's one of the really awesome parts about Burning Man, and I want to thank you for joining us and telling us a little bit about it. You can learn more at burningman.org, and they have more information about Burning Man, lots of photos of all the different types of art, so it's a great website to go check out. So thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.
Patrick, where are you? Hey folks, next up we're getting a sneak peek at the CCSF Film Club. We're going to meet their student members and preview some upcoming film projects.
Whew. Made it just in time.
For the next show...
Ah, don't be so mad. Look what I got. Hey, come back.
Hello there, are you a filmmaker? Yes, you. I can tell by the gumption in your eye and all the camera equipment that you look like you want your work to be on the silver screen. Picture palace? A movie theater. Well then, where's your crew? Ah, a lone wolf. Well, do I have a club for you?
Film Club is basically a group of students, CCS students, that are interested in filmmaking. We will get together and help each other in our filmmaking projects for either other clubs or for other classmates, for class, or just for personal projects. We will screen each other's work and give advice, pointers or suggestions for things they can do for their projects as well.
A few students decided that we should have regular meetings on campus so that we could, make movies, watch movies, talk about movies. It's all about movies.
Most of the film club folks come from the cinema department and broadcast department. We are now getting some interest with from the journalism department, those students. Anyone can join the club.
Well, we Batman. Now that's a lot of good stuff. Well then, let me ask you another question, my young sir. Are you on that tweet book? Facebook. Well, then the club has more to tell you.
Film Club originally began as an online community on Facebook. We still run the Facebook page. We have well over 300 members currently.
If someone needed someone ASAP to work sound for the weekend, they put it on Facebook. For instance, there was a student in Sacramento who needed a sound person ASAP, and they posted on Facebook, hey, we need someone in Sacramento, like tomorrow. And it's a paying gig, so those are the sort of things that if you get the notifications that you'd be privy to through the network.
Don't really talk much, do you, kid? What? Oh, where am I going? So, what do you think about that, my good sir? Well, great. So, if you're ever looking for a great place to hone your filmmaking skills, the Film Club is right for you.
Today, you're hard-pressed to find a CCSF student who knew we ever had a boxing team at all. The program started in the 1940s. CCSF broadcast students spoke with a former member of the class and school faculty to investigate why the boxing club went away and what might have been lost with its disappearance.
Man, boxing at City College was great. I was so nice to go in there at the moment that I did. And doing boxing, you know, you're not only learning, we were all learning the same stuff at the same time to reach the same goal. And Monday, Wednesday class would verse Tuesday, Thursday, and then go to work. And you had some exciting, good fights. The crowds, anywhere from 400 to 700 people that would come and fill up the basketball gym and root on the guys going in there and showing what they had. So they were loud and they were enthusiastic and everybody had a good time.
When Coach Dietrichson was in charge, he did it very professionally, because in the old gymnasium, the old men's gymnasium, which ultimately became the South Gymnasium with Title IX, they had a regular ring in center court. So they could put up the poles and the ropes and the matting and everything and tighten it down just like it was a professional ring you're watching at in an auditorium, you're watching a professional boxing match. So they had the real deal there. They had a bell, they had the whole thing. He would get the top boxers out of his PE class. They called it the men's smoker. In those days, that was a very acceptable form of male behavior. They'd get all the clubs and fraternities and things they had in community college, and they'd all come, on that night for the men's smoker. It was sponsored by the Associated Students. They'd get 1,000 people there to watch this thing. I mean, it was big stuff. Because some of these guys were definitely free swingers, because there was 3 2-minute rounds. And there's a few guys who are just street brawlers. But those are the guys who usually lost because they get out there, swing as hard as they could, and the guy would be exhausted by the end of the first round. He couldn't lift his arms up halfway through the second round, and the guy would just pelt him for the next round and a half and win. So there was all kinds of different styles out there, but it was a lot of fun, it really was.
They had what they called the AAU back in those days, the Amateur Athletic Union, which had schools, City College, and 3 or 4 others in the Bay Area, and down in LA, and you could go through school on a PE scholarship and do boxing and get a degree. Could you even imagine that? Wow, that seems like, wow, did that really actually happen at one time? Yeah, it did. One year, a couple guys died. One guy died, and one guy was messed up pretty bad permanently. And they started to think, maybe we're not going to do this boxing thing after all.
I think the cost of the insurance to indemnify the college against things that could potentially happen if somebody getting hurt just forced them out of business. The college didn't want to pay it anymore. They just kind of died a natural death. You got to remember, everything is a sign of the times. I don't even think kids this day are really into boxing. I mean, I don't think that's that big to them. I don't see kids here talking about boxers. They're not in touch with that. I mean, they're doing other things. There is a subculture that's interested in boxing, but it's not mainstream, in my opinion, like it used to be.
Oh man, like I said, that scene was wonderful. Like I said, if I would have known we were getting the last of the whole thing, I would have sat around and relished it a little more than we got a chance to do. You never know when you're getting the last of something, so you just go on like it's going to always be there. It's always going to be part of what it was. It was a special time.
Be real self-promoting guys. They'd be writing poems, and pretend they were Muhammad Ali, and they're going to do the Ali shuffle and then do all this, and then some guy would come and just give them this roundhouse out of the blue, and that'd be the end of the Ali shuffle, So I think a lot of it was a product of the times, and we're in a different set of times. So how well it fit then probably wouldn't fit in this campus environment, today. It's a different time.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Hey, all you jazz cats out there, get ready to get into the groove because yours truly, me, will debut my new one-man concert. On second thought, I don't think everyone's ready for my new sound just yet. Instead, we have a live in-studio, a very talented group coming right up, the Steve Nelson, an amazing local band performing an original jazz number. So sit back and be cool, Daddy-O.
Do me wrong, do me right. Come on and tell me lies, but hold me tight. Save your goodbyes for the morning light. Don't let me be lonely tonight. Say goodbye, say hello. Been good to see you, but it's time to go. Don't say yes, but don't say no. Just don't let me be lonely tonight. Go away, then damn you, do as you please. You ain't gonna see me getting down on my knees. You're undecided and your heart's decided, just turning my world upside down. Do me wrong, do me right, right now. Come on and tell me lies, but hold me tight. Save your goodbyes for the morning light. Don't let me be lonely tonight. Go away, then damn you, do as you please. You ain't gonna see me getting down on my knees. Your heart's divided and you're undecided, just turning my world upside down, boy. Do me wrong, do me right, right now. Come on in.